All right, today we are diving into some really profound spiritual wisdom, distilled from the teachings of Sathya. We're going to explore this incredible master metaphor for life, a kind of practical guide for how to navigate it, and, what the ultimate destination of our path really is. Okay, let's get into it. So the teachings we're looking at today suggest starting your day with this one powerful, universal question. I mean, it's a question that just cuts through all the daily noise, doesn't it? It invites you to really join a quest for meaning. What is my task? What is the grand victory I'm actually supposed to be striving for? So how do we even begin to answer a question that big? Well, the idea here is that we first need to kind of zoom out and get a handle on the very foundations of our existence. It all starts with really understanding who, or maybe what, we truly are at our core.
Now, this distinction is absolutely key. We're told that we so often make the mistake of thinking we are our physical body. But the real you is the Atma, that immortal, divine spirit that's just, installed inside the body, which is described as a kind of casket we've earned through our past actions.
And this leads us to a really crucial principle: omnipresence. This quote is explained to mean that there's no two, there's only the one. The divine is the unseen foundation for everything we see, like the string that runs through all the beads of creation, holding them together. It's the isness, the fundamental truth of the entire universe. Okay, so if we are this divine Atma journeying through a world that's completely enveloped by God, what does that journey actually look and feel like? Well, the source material gives us this masterful analogy to help us picture it: the chariot of life. Let's break down how this powerful metaphor maps out our inner world and all its challenges.
And this just illustrates the whole idea so brilliantly. Imagine your life is like one of those grand car festivals. You've got music, dancing, thousands of people. It's a huge spectacle. But the real reason everyone is there, the true purpose, is to adore the idol that's installed in that colossal chariot. And the teachings say our daily lives, the earning and spending, laughing and weeping, that's all just the background noise, the subsidiary fanfare. The real point is the adoration of the Atma within.
So, the big question becomes, how do we navigate this chariot? Well, our intelligence, our buddhi, has to be the charioteer. It's got the tough job of steering us through all the different roads of desire, which can pull us in a million directions. The ropes pulling the chariot? Those are our attachments to our senses. And if the charioteer isn't in control, we just end up going in circles. The goal, of course, is liberation, and the master sitting inside the chariot is the divine itself.
And to describe the biggest challenge for our charioteer, the text uses this incredibly powerful image. The senses, sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, they're compared to a five-headed serpent whose poison is craving. And when they're uncontrolled, they drag us down into the mud of just sensual joys, totally distracting us from the real journey. So mastering them is absolutely key to reaching our destination.
So, naturally, this raises a very practical question. How do we actually master this chariot? How do we make our intelligence stronger and get those senses under control? Well, the material gives us a whole toolkit for this, and it's known as sadhana, a framework for spiritual practice. Now, it's really important to see sadhana not as some rigid, empty ritual, but as any disciplined effort that calms the mind. The text says the mind waxes and wanes just like the moon. The whole goal of sadhana is to get rid of those agitations, to make the mind cool and comforting so we can finally see reality for what it is. And we're told that a peaceful life, which is really the foundation for any successful spiritual journey, rests on these three pillars. You have to have faith, because without it, any practice is just empty. Detachment is what makes our efforts actually effective. And love, as we're about to see, is what truly lights the way and leads us quickly to God.
So let's look a little closer at detachment, or dhyaga. This isn't really about giving things up in a physical sense. It's an inner state of contentment. It's freedom from that anxiety of wanting something and the pain of being told no. It's about being ever content, ever full.
And there's this incredible story about the great hero Karna that just nails this idea. In his final moments, this is the only boon he asked for, not for wealth or power or even salvation, but for the ultimate freedom, to never have to say the words, give or no. Now that is true detachment.
And this isn't all just high-level philosophy. We're given a very practical, actionable guide for weaving this spiritual discipline into our daily lives. These 5 sacrifices, or yajnas, are simple duties: daily worship at home,
studying sacred texts that elevate your mind, honoring your parents, treating any stranger at your doors if they were sent by God, and caring for the animals that depend on us.
Okay, so now we get to what the teachings describe as the ultimate principle, the very energy that fuels the chariot on its journey, and that is love, or prema. This is presented as the most powerful driving force of all.
This is such a central theme. Love isn't just an emotion, it's the very nature of the divine. And so the most direct path to experiencing the divine is by cultivating that exact same quality within ourselves. It's the energy that flows from our heart and connects us to the heart in everyone and in everything else.
So, how do we actually exercise this love? The answer is crystal clear, through selfless service, or seva. The text says that when you offer something to another person, you are just placing a gift of God into the hands of another gift of God. Service is described as the most potent form of spiritual practice because it comes from love and it just spreads that love everywhere.
And for our final section, let's bring the focus all the way inward. After mapping out the journey and the path, the last step is to transform our inner world, to build a true sanctuary of peace right inside ourselves.
The text uses this simple but really profound analogy. Think about it. We carry around mirrors and combs to fix how we look on the outside at a moment's notice. We're so concerned with our external appearance. But what about the inner disarray? You know, the dust of envy, the patches of conceit, the tangles of anger. The source just asks, why aren't we more concerned with our inner state? And this is the question it leaves us with. The text suggests we need a totally different kind of mirror and comb for this inner grooming. The mirror of devotion can help us see our inner selves clearly, and the calm of wisdom can help us straighten out all those tangled emotions and find some real clarity. Ultimately, all this inner work transforms our entire lives. And the text makes this beautiful distinction. Anyone can live in a house of brick and mortar, but a true home, that's a space filled with the virtues we've been talking about: love, sacrifice, peace, and reverence. The mother is even described as the high priest of this home, where the fragrance of worship should fill every single room.
So where's this entire journey lead? The text wraps up at this powerful progression of realization. It starts with devotion and surrender. I am yours. Then it deepens into this intimate, personal relationship. You are mine. And finally, it all culminates in the ultimate unity, the merging of the self with the divine, the moment the wave realizes it is the ocean. I am you. A final provocative thought on the true destination of the chariot of life.